I seen something that said that a woman on TikTok was saying that there aren't a lot of attractive men. There are way more attractive women than there are attractive men. And like I said, I'm not about to judge what an attractive man is, but I will say this, okay? I will wholeheartedly say this. If women would just wake up in the morning and go outside, I think people's opinions would change about that. And then women lie about what attractive is. They will lie about what attractive is. They're like, oh, Lizzo was so beautiful. And then when you tell them, oh, you look like Lizzo, they get offended. You know what I'm saying? So kind of when you're talking about what attractive is to them, a lot of times they be lying about their homegirls being attractive. You be like, oh, see, my friend's a bad bitch. And you be like, well, she ain't got no man. The niggas that she be getting ain't shit. So what that say about her? So my whole thing is women live in delusion. You know, and then a lot of times, a lot of women live vicariously online. So and I've done a video on this channel before saying, you know, women on the internet and women in person are two different people. And this is why a lot of women who get dates on dating apps or do meetups on dating apps, the guys ghost them because they look nothing like their profile pictures. Like probably, I would say like 90 to 95% of men probably look like they self on the internet. And I would probably say 20% of women look how they portray it on the internet. When you meet them in person, it's nowhere what they look like online. I'm telling you, you know, at all. You know, the way they filter it, the way they hit the angles. You know what I'm saying? The way they do a lot of stuff, they're not the same person online. And that's literally the God honest truth. That's literally the God honest truth. So women with all the makeup and the push bras and the BBLs and all that type of stuff, you know, it's just to the point where they literally delusional. That's why a lot of women don't want their man until they make a commitment, or a man to make a commitment to them and see them without their wigs and their lashes and their hair. Think about all the work a woman got to do just to say natural beauty. You know what I'm saying? Hair, nails, face, all that type of stuff. So that's what y'all be, Corey Holcomb be going so hard on what a bad bitch really is. And he's actually right. If you got to put all that hair in your head and you got to do all that with your nails, all that with your eyebrows, all that with the makeup, you're not a bad bitch, bro. You're not a bad bitch. I'm sorry. You're not a beautiful woman. And that's just the God honest truth, man, when we having these type of conversations. So of course to them, they feel like there's way more attractive women. Then if that's the case, why don't y'all just bump coochies? You know, if that's the case, why don't y'all just hump each other? Honestly. You know, and that's just my God honest truth to it. So when you hear certain things, you hear them make these declarations of like, or there's just not that many attractive dudes because dudes are what they are. Now, there's some dudes that, you know, could enhance, you know, how they look to the public. Absolutely. There are dudes like that who can wash their face and, you know, keep a haircut and learn how to groom their beards and learn how to groom their body and put lotion on and smell good and know how to make, who know how to style their clothes. And yes, a lot of dudes are subpar when it comes to style and grooming. You know, I see it all the time. You know, and these will be the same dudes that complain about, you know, women not wanting them. And I'm just looking like, dude, look what you're wearing. You know, you look dirty, you look dusty, you're not matching, your clothes it's not a nice fitting clothes. Even if you dress off the mannequin, you would have a better opportunity even dressing off the mannequin, in my opinion. But you have no sense of style. You have no sense of keeping yourself up. See, with women, you know, these women go get liposuction, waist trainers, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? With dudes, really ain't nothing like that. So you got to make sure you ain't got to be in the ideal shape, but you should be in solid shape. You know, if you don't know like what your colors is, or you know what your style is, find your style. You know, they always say throwing the watch on helps the decor. You know, necessarily you don't need accessories. You know, some people like jewelry, chains, you know, whatever. But necessarily it's just, you know, coordination, finding what fits you, you know what I'm saying, and being confident. So I can agree with women from that point of view that it's a lot of guys that don't have a style. It's a lot of guys that can't dress. It's a lot of guys that don't understand grooming. It's a lot of guys that don't understand, you know, haircuts and grooming beards and you know, just certain things. I do agree with that. I think women have a better sense of style than men. Even the women that can't dress better than some of the guys that, you know, that feel like they can dress, if that make any type of sense. So from a decor or a style standpoint of view, women got a point. Women got a point on that one. It's a lot of guys that just don't have a style. You can have, as a man, you can have multiple styles, and as a woman, you will. You have a professional style. You have a business casual kind of style. You know, you might have a wedding type of style. And I don't mean I just go buy a tux and no. What's your style? The cut of the tux, the fit of the tux, the type of tux, the fit of the suit, the type of the suit, the shoes you gonna wear, the accessories you hitting with it. So, you know, even with women, dinner attire dress, wedding attire dress. So you have different styles in your closet. And I say this on the Patreon the other day. Well, whenever it show up on the Patreon, it's only link in the description. Like, your closet has to have some versatility. Yes, I like sportswear, so I'm gonna have a lot of sportswear. But I know if I have to go somewhere where it's a casual thing, I know I got sweaters. You know, if I got to get a turtleneck, or I got big, you know, collared shirts, and I got, you got to deepen your bag. If it's kind of business casual, then okay, I can throw this on with some jeans and some nice shirt. So you gotta have, the summer boat shoes or no show socks, and make sure your lotion and cologne, your summer cologne. So most people don't actually know in the cologne game, you have colognes have seasons. More of the woody, whiskey, bourbon-ishy type of stuff. That's summer. More your smells that smell a little bit more fruitier, or those are your summer smells. You know? So yeah, it's all about finding what, and I agree with women on that. It's a lot of guys that's probably not attractive like women, because as much as women put a lot into their look, we all can agree. Men, it's kind of seem as feminine and sassy to put that much effort into your look, but you need to put some effort into your look. You shouldn't be able, if you going out with Patty and it's the first date or the 95th date, it shouldn't take you 10 minutes to get ready, bro. Women take hours to get ready. I would say bare minimum, if I'm really going out and I'm taking my time, an hour. If I'm going from scratch, I gotta find something to wear. I gotta grab something. I gotta wash my ass. So then going deeper into the grooming game, I even got certain body washes that I use. I got some that I use at night when I want to wind down. I got an all-purpose one that I use. You know what I'm saying? Or when I go out, and I put y'all on game, I use the Cremo. In the summertime, I like the blue label, the Centron Cooling Cremo, CREMO body wash. A lot of times they vanilla bourbon is dope. And they got a lot of different ones, whatever, for the winter. And then they got the seasonal ones. So when I'm going out, I use that. Hot shower, or if the Centron don't really matter, that's cooling. Whatever, use that. Hit it with some nice, hit it. I might hit it with some nice lotion soon I get out the shower. Hit the cologne over the lotion so it can stick and stay and last longer. So that's how you do that. But a lot of guys need to put some effort into how you look. I agree, it's probably a lot of unattractive guys walking around here that could be attractive, but they have no sense of style. And at the end of the day, you just got to learn how to build it. And a lot of men get their style from their mother. Good point. You get your style, your parents is what roll the ball for your style. You know, that's the role the ball kind of gives you what you like, and then you go from there. A lot of times your mother pick your clothes out, father pick your clothes out, and then from there you go there and you find out what style is beneficial towards you. But I agree with women on that. It's a lot of guys that probably could be attractive, but to the surface they not attractive because they have no sense of style, grooming, nothing. And Kevin Samuels is helping a lot of people out finding their style. But as far as, you know, attractive on both sides, I would probably think it's pretty much about even. But women put so much go into their looks and so little go into most guys' look that it seems that way. But once you strip everybody down to the bare minimum, it's probably even. Even the chicks in your mind that you think a 9 or a dime, they not. Once you strip them down. And we ain't even talked about personality. We ain't talked about humility. We ain't talked about morality and tech. We ain't even got into none of that. So once you start hitting a lot of women with those type of things, a lot of women get hit with a lot of deductions. But in my opinion, you know, if it's bare minimum, like you coming outside and I'm just gonna take a shower, no makeup, no extension, it's even. It's fucking even, bro. It's even. That's just my opinion on it. I know what a lot of women look like when they wake up. A lot of y'all women want to have sex with the lights off because you don't want guys to see your stretch marks and your jelly rolls and shit, or how your body might be this. I'm telling y'all what it is, dog. Women know that. Women know what it is. They know what it is. They know they're not as attractive as they lead people to believe. So that's just my opinion on it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. You can literally follow me everywhere. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.